Today's class is called Strong Body Yoga, and my theme for this class is really about a strong body equally as strong as your mind. So your mind is really what leads you through your day, but your body is what carries you. It allows you to be active and healthy. It brings your energy into the world, and so I just want you to take today to focus on your strength, whether that's your inner strength that comes from your heart, your physical strength, your mental strength, all the above. So we're just going to start in an active rest posture. So you can go ahead and just lie on your back, bend your knees, let your feet rest on the floor. Go ahead and let your eyes drift shut for just a minute or two, bringing yourself into the space and into today's practice, whatever that might mean for you, whether you're a beginner or advanced. What can you work on today? As we begin, go ahead and start trying to really focus in on your breath. So long inhales through your nose and long exhales out through your mouth. Guiding the flow of energy into your body and releasing anything that isn't going to serve you today. Today's physical theme is going to be focused on finding strength in our legs, in our core, and in our back. So go ahead and just kind of breathe some attention into those areas right now. Check in with your body, see how you're feeling, and just prepare yourself for what we're going to do today. Good, and when you're ready, go ahead and just guide yourself up to a seated posture. You can use your hands to lift your body off the floor, rock your way up from your back. Choose wherever you want your legs to be today, cross, foot over knee, or just crisscross applesauce, whatever is going to be comfortable, and go ahead and let your hands just rest in your lap or on your legs. We're going to start just by stretching our neck, inhaling, lifting our chin to the ceiling. And exhaling, tucking chin to chest. Inhale, lift. And exhale, chin to chest. One more time. Inhale, bring that chin high. And exhale, chin to chest. This time inhale, but just to neutral. And start looking from right to left. Eyes can be open or closed. Just awakening our neck and our spine. And when you're ready, go ahead and shift into a tilt pattern. So dropping your earlobe to your shoulder and pausing for a moment. And then switching sides. Continuing those long breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And when you're ready, go ahead and just start circling your head, letting the weight fall towards your chest, and lifting your chin to the ceiling as you guide yourself around. Your back remaining long, but your head moving freely on top. And on your next inhale, go ahead and pause wherever you are. Exhale, begin the opposite direction. Shifting your momentum. Wherever you are, just pull your head back to a neutral spine. Take a nice deep inhale to lengthen, and exhale to begin rolling down the spine, chin to chest, and then walking the hands forward onto the mat. Draping over, letting the weight of your head fall, feeling a stretch in your lower back. Good. Good. One more deep breath here, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Go ahead and walk your hands back up to a neutral spine. And we're just going to shift up and over into tabletop position. Shoulders stacked over the hands, hips over the knees. We're going to begin taking some cat-cows. So inhaling into cow pose and exhaling, rounding the back for cat. Following your own breath, shifting between those two postures, really awakening your spine. And if you'd like, you can kind of shift into a bit of a happy dog. So just squeezing head-tail connection from one side to the other. Just finding a little more movement in the spine before we really get started today. Good. When you're ready, go ahead and find a neutral position. We're going to do a little bit of opposition stretching. So we're going to inhale, reaching the right arm and left leg high off the floor, finding a long line between the two. Exhale here. One more deep inhale to lengthen, and exhale, plant those back down. On the other side, lifting left hand, right leg with an inhale. Hold and lengthen, finding a bit of that strength in through the nose, and exhale. One more time, each side. Inhale, right hand, left leg. In and out. Last time, inhale, left hand, right leg up from your mat. Finding that long line. And exhale, placing both hand and feet on the ground. Go ahead and just sit back into a child's pose, letting your hips fall over your feet and your forehead reach to the floor. Good. We're going to stay here for a couple of breaths. Focusing back in on your breath, listening to the sound of the air going in and out. Good, and from there we're going to press into our hands, tuck our toes, and send our hips up for our first downward dog of the day. Maybe your knees remain a little bit bent. Go ahead and just begin by pedaling through the feet, finding some space in your back and your shoulders. Preparing for this class that is focused on the legs and the core. Really getting ready. Pressing the sits bones up towards the sky. Good. And on your next inhale, go ahead and bend your knees, look forward, and just walk your feet up towards your hands, allowing yourself to remain in that forward fold position, finding a good stretch in the back of your hamstrings. Allowing your hands to rest on the floor or your legs, wherever is most comfortable to begin today. And with an inhale, go ahead and bend your knees and just roll the spine up to a standing position. Very good. We're going to get started with Sun Salutation A this morning. So we're going to do a quick breakdown just for anyone that is a beginner. So you're going to heel toe your feet together towards the top of your mat. You're going to bend your legs and inhale, sweeping the arms overhead for mountain pose Tadasana. Exhale, forward fold, bending all the way forward. Inhale, halfway lift, finding some length in the spine. And then exhale, planting the palms, stepping the feet back and shifting the weight forward, lowering halfway down. Maybe today you put your thighs on the floor, lifting to upward facing dog, pressing the shoulders down, and then with an exhale, tucking the toes and heading back into downward facing dog. Might need to walk your feet a little bit forward when you get there, and that's fine. Then again, on our next inhale, we bend the knees and look forward and walk our feet back up to our hands. We repeat halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Then inhale, we begin again with mountain pose Tadasana. Reaching the arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward. Very good. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, forward fold, chaturanga. Plant the palms, step the feet back, shift the weight forward and lower down. Inhale, find upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pressing the heels down. Lifting the sits bones high. Good. On our next inhale, go ahead and bend the knees, look forward, and when you're ready, walk your feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose Tadasana. I'm going to let you go ahead and follow your own breath for the next 2 rounds, taking them as slow or as quickly as you'd like this morning. Finding a good stretch for yourself, warming up. Exhale. Halfway lift, step back. Maybe you pause in upward facing dog or downward, just finding whatever kind of stretch you need to start your day today. Good, pressing through those heels, pedaling the feet. Walking back to the top of the mat. Good. Finding strength in your arms as you shift your weight forward and low down. And pressing back into that long hamstring stretch of downward facing dog. ready, we'll just meet at the top of the mat. We're gonna do a round or two of sun salutation B as well. So we're gonna inhale, reaching the arms, mountain pose Tadasana. Then we're gonna go ahead and sit back for chair pose. Feet squeezing together, thighs touching, reaching the arms overhead. Inhale here, and as we exhale, bring the hands through heart center and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Place the hands, step back, shift the weight forward, lower down. Inhale for upward facing dog, and exhale for downward facing dog. From there, we're going to inhale, lifting the right leg from the floor. Exhale, stepping forward. Inhale, bringing the arms up and overhead and sinking into warrior two. Good. We're going to take a nice deep breath here. In through the nose and out through the mouth. One more time. Inhale, and as we exhale, finding extended side angle, reaching that back arm overhead. Inhale, revolve warrior, reaching for that back leg, shifting the gaze up to the ceiling. Again, exhale, take it forward. And inhale, up and back. Last time, exhale, take it forward. Inhale, up and back. Good. From here, we're just gonna bring both arms up and over, plant our palms, step back, chaturanga, shifting the weight forward, lowering down, inhaling, upward facing dog, and exhaling, downward facing dog. Very good. We're gonna go ahead and take the left right away. So inhale, the left leg up. Exhale, step forward. Inhale, bringing the arms up and over to sink into warrior two. Pressing through that front hip. Nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Relaxing the shoulders, no tension in the face. Inhale, and on the exhale, take it forward for extended side angle, reaching that arm overhead. Inhale, up and back for reverse warrior. Exhale, take it forward, extended side angle. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, take it forward. Last time, inhale, up and back. Exhale, take it all the way forward, reaching those hands to the mat, stepping back, shifting forward, lowering down, finding upward facing dog. And this time we're just gonna go to child's pose. Take a moment for yourself and rest just for a second. Finding a little bit of a stretch. Good, and when you're ready, pressing those palms into the mat, tucking the toes and sending the hips back up into downward facing dog. Take a nice 2 or 3 breaths here. You might pedal through the feet one more time. Good, and from there we're just gonna lower the knees down and come to a seated posture. We're gonna move into our core series. So we're gonna let our feet go to the front of our mat, finding our sits bones right in the center of our mat, creating a long spine. We're gonna start with boat pose. So we're just gonna go ahead and hug the back of our knees and kind of rock up into this core position. You can always leave your toes on the mat if you'd prefer. Just keep that core engaged. And when you're ready, open those hands. And we're gonna hold for a couple of seconds. Using your breath as your focal point. You might flex or point your toes. You might hold your knees if you need to. Bring your toes down, wherever you need to be. For the next 10 seconds. Good, and from there we're just gonna reach one toe to the floor at a time. And switch. following your breath, and switch. Good. 2 more. Reaching and switching. We're just going to go ahead and guide ourselves all the way down to our mat, planting our feet on the floor, letting our hands rest at our sides, pressing the hips up to find bridge pose. Good. You might let your hands clasp underneath your back, or they can remain on the floor, wherever you want to be. Pressing into that, holding for 3, relaxing in 2, and 1. Good. Lower down, just go ahead and give your legs a little hug, pulling them into your chest, flattening your spine on the floor, feeling that connection. Good, and when you're ready, just gently begin rocking and rolling up and down the length of your spine until you can bring yourself up to a nice seated position again. We're gonna go ahead and take that little sequence one more time. So inhale, lengthening the spine. When we're ready, rock up into boat pose. Again, the toes can always remain touching the floor, hands on the back of the thighs, or you can go ahead and fully extend. Opening. Good. Still breathing, letting our focus remain with our breath so that we can actualize all of the strength in our body without our mind telling us to give up. Good. A few more breaths here. In. Good, and this time you can either take this same toe-touching sequence, or if you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can go ahead and fully extend the leg, pulling the knee into the chest and switching with every breath. In and out. Good, pulling one knee in, reaching the other leg long. 3, 2, last one. Again, go ahead and lower the legs to the floor. Take a nice deep breath. And when you're ready, press those hips up to find bridge pose. Keep taking 3 or 4 deep breaths there. Go ahead and lower the hips. Bring the knees back into the chest. You might rock side to side, or just lay there, feeling your spine in connection with the floor. Good. Two more deep breaths wherever you're at. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And when you're ready, go ahead and just rock and roll that spine again. Rocking back and forth so you can pull yourself up, back onto your sits bones. And then just kind of press over your feet. Lengthening the legs and rolling up the spine. The next series we're going to begin is called a mandala series. And a mandala series it takes you in a circle around your mat, and it's kind of focusing in on strengthening one side of your body at a time. So the way this series is going to work is we're going to start with a couple of lunges. We're going to press through Warrior 3 and Goddess Pose, and we're going to do the whole series on our right leg 2 times. So we're going to start facing the top of our mat. We're going to take the entire series until we end facing the back of our mat. Then we're going to begin again and do the right leg a second time until we're back to the top. From there, we're going to do it twice on the left, reversing the direction. So we end at the back, and then we begin again, and we bring ourselves back to the top. So we'll get started. It begins with pretty much just a sun salutation A. So everyone come to the top of your mat, heel toe your feet together. And when you're ready, inhale, reaching mountain pose Tadasana. Exhale, forward fold, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, chaturanga. Plant the hands, step the feet back. Shift forward, lower down, and inhale, finding upward facing dog. And exhale, pressing to downward facing dog. From there, we're gonna go into a 3-legged dog pose. So we're gonna inhale that right leg high. And exhale, squeezing knee to nose. Inhale, take it up again, all the way high. Then exhale, squeezing knee to right elbow, shifting the weight forward onto your hands. Inhale, press it high. This time, exhale, squeezing knee to left elbow, crossing the body. Last time, inhale it up. And exhale, stepping all the way forward, lifting those arms with an inhale, finding Warrior 1. From here, we're going to take 2 breaths before pressing up into Warrior 3. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Inhale, and then press into your Warrior 3, which can be here. You can leave that back leg on the mat and just guide your upper body forward. Or if you'd like to bring that leg up but don't feel quite stable enough, you can always reach the fingertips down to the mat. We're just gonna balance there for a minute. Good. Remembering that this class is focused on finding your inner strength. Holding for 3. Back to Warrior 1 and 2. And 1. Lifting the arms. Take a nice inhale here. And as you exhale, guide the hands to heart center and sink down into Goddess Pose, facing the side of your mat. Good. Let your gaze go down to your fingertips. Really sink those hips low. Hold it there for just a moment. Breathing. Feeling the energy that you're cultivating. And on your next inhale, go ahead and lengthen the arms and legs at the same time. Turn to face the back of your mat. Reach the hands to the floor. Step back in chaturanga, shifting the weight forward, lowering halfway. Finding inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. On our next inhale, we're gonna lift that right leg high and step forward to a crescent lunge, leaving the back heel off the mat and lifting the arms up overhead. Good. From there, go ahead and exhale the hands to heart center and cross the left elbow to the right thigh, twisting and finding revolve. Really pressing into those hands and feet, finding your balance, your core strength. Good. 2 more breaths. In and out. In, and as you exhale, relax the arms, plant the palms, and step back to plank position. This time we don't chaturanga, but we lift the left foot and just come forward into a pigeon pose, letting our left hip sink into the floor, and really lengthening that back right leg. Good. You can choose to let your upper body fall forward or stay tall. Good, and really breathe into that hip. With our next inhale, we're gonna plant the palms, tuck those back toes, and lift ourselves back into a plank position, and then immediately send the hips up for our last downward facing dog of this round. We're gonna bend the knees, look forward to our thumbs, and as we exhale, hop our feet to the top of our mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees and roll up the spine. From there, we're just gonna start the whole thing over again. Inhale, mountain pose tadasana, lifting arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga, plant the palms, step the feet back, shift the weight forward, lower down, and inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Good, we're gonna go right into that three-legged dog again. So we plant the left foot, and inhale the right leg high. Exhale, knee squeezes towards our nose. Shifting the weight forward. Inhale, take that right leg up. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Same side of the body, good. Inhale, take it up. And exhale, knee to left elbow, crossing the body, squeezing. Last time, we inhale it up, and we exhale, stepping forward, finding our warrior one by inhaling the arms up overhead, breathing into that position, good. Nice inhale here. And on your exhale, press into warrior three, wherever it might be for you today. Lifting the back leg, reaching the hands towards the mat. Good. Good. Finding that posture wherever it is for you this morning. Holding for 3, releasing down in 2, and 1. Step that foot back, reach the arms overhead. Back into that warrior one position, reaching the fingertips to the sky. Inhale here, and as you exhale, turn to the opposite side of your mat. Bring the hands together and sink down into that goddess pose. Dropping the hips, lowering the chin towards the fingers. Again, just harnessing all the energy you have in this position. Good. On your next inhale, lengthening your arms and legs at the same time, turning to the front of your mat, lowering the hands back down, stepping back to plank, chaturanga, shifting forward, lowering, lifting to upward facing dog, and exhaling to downward facing dog. Last time with the right foot, we inhale it up, exhale, step it forward, lifting to crescent lunge, keeping that back heel off the floor. Inhale, find length in the spine. Exhale, bring the hands and cross over. Yep, so opposite elbow to knee, pressing those palms together, fighting for that balance. Very good. Good. Another deep breath there. And when you're ready, releasing the hands, planting them down, stepping back to plank, lifting the left foot to shift up and forward into pigeon to find a good stretch for those hip flexors before we move on to the left side. Letting the upper body just send forward a little bit to really deepen that stretch. On our next breath in, let's go ahead and plant the palms, tuck the back toes, lift and shift your weight back into that plank position, And send the hips up to the ceiling as we step forward to downward dog. Pressing through the legs and the shoulders. Inhale, bend the knees and look forward. Exhale, hop the feet up towards the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees and roll up the spine. Good. From here, let's just go ahead and take a moment before we repeat on the left side. You can bring your hands to heart center or just let them stay at your sides. Close your eyes and just take a second, realizing all the energy you still have, even though we just worked very hard with that right leg. I've learned recently that your mind tells your body to stop after expending only 10% of your energy. So you always have 90% more that you can push through. Your mind tells you to quit, but you don't have to. You have a strong body, and it can continue. A couple more breaths here. In and out. Good. Let your eyes drift open. Step back up to the top of your mat. We're going to take the sequence twice more, beginning with the left leg. So we begin. Inhale, mountain pose Tadasana, reaching arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Place the hands, step back, shift forward, lowering and lifting to upward facing dog, and then pressing into downward facing dog. This time we plant our weight into our right foot so that we can inhale, lifting the left leg high. Exhale, squeezing our knee to our nose. Shifting the weight forward. Inhale, take that left leg up. Exhale, squeeze knee to left elbow. Inhale, take that leg up, pressing through the feet. Exhale, crossing the body, bringing it to our right elbow. Last time we inhale that leg high. And exhale, step it forward, lifting the arms on an inhale as we find warrior one. Planting that back heel, sinking into the front hip. Preparing for warrior three, wherever that might be today. We take a nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Pressing, on your next exhale, pressing into warrior three. Good. Finding length through that back leg, strength in that front thigh as you press your foot into the earth. Holding for 3, stepping back in 2, and 1. Lifting the arms overhead as we inhale into our warrior one. And exhale, turning to the side, bringing the hands together and sinking down into that goddess pose. Good. You might let the chin fall. The hips sink down as low as your knees. Good. Holding there for one more breath, in through the nose and out. Then lengthening the arms and legs at the same time, turning to the back of the mat, planting the palms, stepping the foot back and taking chaturanga, shifting the weight forward, lifting to upward facing dog, and then downward facing dog with your exhale. Again, we plant our weight in the right foot and inhale the left leg up high as we prepare to step forward and find a crescent lunge, lifting the arms up, keeping that back heel off the floor. Good. Inhale there, and exhale, bringing the hands to heart center and twisting to revolve crescent lunge, bringing that elbow to knee connection. You could find your balance first. There you go. Then twist. Good. Very good. Pressing those palms together. The toes feeling the earth, holding your body weight up. Inhale here through the nose, and as you exhale, release the arms, plant the hands, and step that foot back to plank position. Good. When you're ready, lift the right foot up and forward into pigeon pose, giving that a good stretch to the opposite side of your body. Good. Letting that hip fall into the ground and finding length through that left leg. Stretching forward or remaining tall. Good. We have just one more round after this in this tough series. Good. On an inhale, go ahead and plant those palms into the earth. Step that foot back to plank position and then lift your hips into downward facing dog. You're almost done. You almost finished it. You can do this. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward between the hands. And as you exhale, hop the feet to the top of the mat. Good. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthening. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees and roll up the spine. Good. Our very last round. Here we go. Inhale, mountain pose tadasana. Reaching the arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward for forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Plant the palms. Step back, shift the weight forward. Lower down to your knees if you need to. Upward facing dog. And then exhale to downward facing dog. Planting our weight into that right foot, we inhale the left leg up high to the sky, finding three-legged dog. Then we exhale, squeezing our knee to our nose. Inhale, lifting that foot. Exhale, squeezing knee to left elbow. Inhale, lifting that leg up. Exhale, crossing the body, finding knee to right elbow connection. Last time we inhale it up high and exhale, stepping forward to warrior one. Inhaling the arms overhead, planting that back heel into the floor. Good, take a nice deep breath in here. And as you exhale, find your last warrior three, pressing up and forward, maybe reaching to the mat, wherever you want to be. Good, beautiful. Excellent. Breathing there. Strengthening that left leg. Reaching the right leg long back behind you. Good. One more breath in here. And as you exhale, stepping that foot down, reaching the arms overhead. Taking a nice inhale in warrior one. Exhale, turn into the opposite side of your mat, bringing hands together and sinking down into that goddess pose for the last time. If you feel like you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can try to lift the heels off the mat and find your balance up on your toes. That's only if you desire for this last round. Good. Holding for 3, 2, 1. Lengthening the legs and arms together. Turning back to the front of the mat. Step the hands down, back into plank. Shift forward, last chaturanga. Take it down, inhale it up. And exhale to downward dog. Last time, we're gonna plant the right foot and inhale the left leg high. Stepping forward, crescent lunge, keeping that back heel off the ground. Sweeping the arms overhead. Nice inhale for length here. Exhale, bring the hands together and find a good spinal twist. Very good. Splaying the toes, making sure that they're all pressing into the earth. The hands pressing into each other equally. Good. One last breath here, and as you exhale, releasing the arms to plant the palms and step back to plank. Lifting the right leg again up and sitting forward into our last pigeon pose. to finish off this mandala sequence, draping the body forward or staying tall and just letting your hands rest on that front leg. Good. This is a difficult sequence, and you guys have done it excellently. On our next inhale, plant those palms back down, tuck the back toes, step back into plank, and then send the hips directly up into downward facing dog. The last one, we press into our feet, lengthen the spine. Inhale, we bend the knees, look forward, and hop to the top of our mat. In through the nose as we lengthen, and out through the mouth. Bend the knees and roll up the spine. Go ahead and let the eyes drift shut for one more moment before we move on. That was excellent. You guys conquered that challenge. Reminding that this class is called Strong Body Yoga because we are all strong individuals. Focusing back in on your breath, thinking of lengthening your inhales and exhales, filling your lungs to their capacity, and then exhaling everything out. One more breath in through the nose, and out through the mouth. Letting your eyes drift back open, we're going to go into our balancing sequence. We're going to go ahead and take 2 balances today, a chair pose challenge and then tree pose. We're going to start with chair pose. You can kind of find yourself near the top of your mat, but not directly at the front. And just kind of heel toe your feet together, or just leave a little tiny space between them. We're going to inhale, lifting the arms overhead, and exhale, sitting back into that chair pose. Really finding our hips sinking low and our arms lengthening from our spine. Today's challenge is going to be to go ahead and just lift that right foot about an inch off the floor if you can, or at least lift the heel and just let the toe be your balancing point. We're going to try and find one more bit of strength in each leg. We're going to hold it for 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and step that foot back. Go ahead and bring your hands to your hips. We're going to just do a couple lunges. So we're going to drop that back knee parallel to the floor. We're just going to pulse there. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. Go ahead and push off that back foot all the way back up. Bring your feet back together. Again, we inhale. And exhale, sink back into that chair pose. Squeezing the legs together, the tummy in, lengthening the arms and the spine. And when you're ready, just lifting that left foot about an inch off the mat. Letting your toe guide your balance. Still squeezing the legs together, holding it, finding that last bit of strength. Reminding yourself that you have 90% more to give. Holding for 3, 2, and 1. Stepping it back, finding long legs, and 8 more pulses here. We take it down. And 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 6, 7, and 8. Pressing up to the top. We're going to move on to tree pose. So go ahead and plant that left foot into the mat. And when you're ready, go ahead and just begin guiding your foot up. Maybe starting at your ankle, using your hand to lift your foot into the opposite thigh, or just remaining down, calf height, or toes on the floor, finding wherever your tree pose is today, using the heel of that right foot to press to the left thigh. Good, finding your balance. If you'd like, you can always inhale the arms up overhead. Very good. Holding for 3, 2, hands come back to heart center, and we step down in 1. Good, go ahead and just bend the knees, pedal through before we take that on the other side. Finding good, relaxed toes, splaying open, not pinching. Shifting your weight into that right foot, and lifting the left, starting at the ankle, and then guiding your foot up, pressing into that opposite thigh, using your arm strength to find your balance. Whenever you're ready, just guiding those hands up for a bit more of a challenge. Good. Feeling the strength and the power radiating out of your body in this very strong position. Good. Holding for 3. Hands together, 2. And stepping down in 1. Good. We're just going to make our way to the floor for a few stretches before we take our Shavasana today. So go ahead and just bring yourself down to your mat. Let's begin on our backs, actually. And just hug the knees into your chest. Whenever you're ready, we'll begin our stretches from here. Finding length and connection of the spine into the floor. Go ahead and just let your knees straighten. Let your hands wrap around the back of your thighs or calves. Not necessarily pulling on your legs, but just letting gravity help them in towards your chest. From there, go ahead and wrap your hands around the insides of your feet. Just let your knees fall open, finding happy baby for a good hip opener. Your eyes might drift shut here as we prepare for the finish of our class. You might give a gentle pull to one foot and then the other, rocking side to side just slightly. One last deep breath here, and then release your feet and let them fall back to the mat. And just find that connection of your back into the earth. You might let your knees rock from side to side, getting a bit more of a stretch into those hips. Feeling your lower back in connection with the floor. Good, and when you're ready, I want you to just make your way onto your stomach. One last stretch of our back before we sink down into our Shavasana. So once you're ready, just lying flat on your stomach, forehead onto the mat. Arms are going to open into a T, straight out from your shoulders, palms down into the floor. Good. I want to invite you to bring your right hand directly underneath your right shoulder. And then just gently push into that right arm. Shift the body up onto the left side, stretching through that left shoulder. Your head can stay in connection with the mat. Just feeling a deep stretch through that left arm and left shoulder. We're going to hold there for 3, 2, and release back down onto your stomach in 1. Lengthening that right hand out to the side and switching, pulling the left into the shoulder. Pressing up onto that right side body whenever you're ready. Feeling that nice deep stretch through the back and the shoulder, the entire arm. When you're ready, releasing down onto the stomach, letting the arms lengthen. And actually, you can just bring them down by your sides. We're going to do a bit of a compression stretch on the front of our body before we flip over. Letting everything relax into the floor. I read something recently that said the word yoga can be translated to something similar as addition. So I feel that the practice of yoga today or any day in your life is like the addition of energy, of strength, and of beauty to your body, mind, and soul. Just something to think about as you lie here. You should be thankful that you came to this class today and that you experienced this. You found your inner strength. And when you're ready, go ahead and just flip onto your back body or remain here for your Shavasana today, whatever your choice is. Flipping over onto your back, letting your legs fall to the sides, your arms open. Just sinking into the earth, letting the ground hold you. I'm going to invite you to just start peeling yourself out of that Shavasana. We're bringing some awareness to your feet and ankles, wiggling your toes a little bit. You might squeeze your palms, move your fingertips around. Rock your head side to side, feeling a little bit of that connection to the back of your skull into the earth. And when you're ready, go ahead and just curl into one side of the body or the other. Lying on your side, hugging knees into the chest. Go ahead and use the hands to guide your body back up into a seated position to finish. Good. I want to thank you all for coming to my class today. I see strength and strong bodies and strong minds in each of you as women and as people. So go ahead and just let your hands rest in your lap or bring them to heart center. Thank you again for being here and for practicing with me today. Namaste.
Namaste.
Good. Thank you so much for coming.